a void is created when all the systems have failed. There is a danger or a demand, depending upon your particular fancy, the religious stuff stepping into it and trying to tell us that we have the answers for the problems. But the revolutions have failed because they also have tried to fit their systems into a value system. I'm not against the value system, but the demand to fit ourselves into the value system is the cause of man's suffering. See, nobody knows anything about life. We have only a conceptual ideations and meditations of life. And even the scientists who are trying to understand life, its origin, come up with theories, definitions of life. We really do not know anything about life. And all thought, you may not agree with me and your listeners may not accept my statement, that all our thinking is dead. It is born out of dead ideas. So the thought or the thinking mechanism trying to touch life, experience life and capture that life and give expression to that life is an impossible task. So what we are concerned about is living. The living is our relationship with our fellow beings, with the life around. And when we have everything that we can reasonably ask for, all the material comforts that you have in the West, the question naturally arises, is that all? Is that all? If the moment you pose that question to yourself, we have created a problem. If that is all, then what is the next step to take? But we are not ready. So we do not see any meaning in our life. And so we pose this question to ourselves and throw these questions at others who you think they have answers. What is the meaning of life? What is the purpose of life? It may have its own meaning, it may have its own purpose. By understanding the meaning of life and the purpose of life, we are not going to improve, change, modify, or alter our behavior patterns in any way. But there is a hope that by understanding the meaning of life, there may not be any meaning of life. If it has a meaning of life, it is already in operation there. Our wanting to understand the meaning of life seems to be a futile attempt on our parts. We go on asking the questions. Once a very old gentleman, 95-year-old gentleman, who is considered to be a great spiritual man, who taught all the time, you see, the great scriptures to his followers. He heard that I was there in the town. He came to me and asked me 2 questions. He said, what's the meaning of life? I have written hundreds of books telling people all about the meaning of life and purpose of life, quoting all the scriptures, interpreting them. I haven't understood the meaning of life. You are the one who can give the answer to me. Then I told him, look here, you are 95 years old. You haven't understood the meaning of life. When are you going to understand the meaning of life? There may not be any meaning of life. And the next question he asked me is, I have lived 95 years. I'm going to die one of these days. I want to know what will happen after death. I said, you may not live long. To know anything about death, you have to die. So are you ready to die? As long as you are asking the question, what is death? What is there after death? You are already dead. These are all dead questions. A living man would never ask those questions.